Let's suppose that for now we don't have more bees. What happened with our food?
Right. So we would still have some food, but it would be a lot less. So we don't always know that the majority of the food that we're eating wouldn't be there unless a bee visited a flower. So there's lots of different statistics. And the one that we commonly use is that 1/3 of your diet or 1 of every 3 bites of food is the result of pollination.
12 years ago, if you were to tell me that I would have this company today, I would not have believed you. But for me, getting sober was everything.
It was always, well, my husband knows, he's sitting over there. He knows that animals come first for everything, even over him sometimes.
We are in the same boat. Don't worry.
But
the meat companies and all those other companies, they put so much money in advertising. Just imagine if that was the opposite. If they were like, oh, bananas and apples looking so good. You know, you want to have that. You'd be like, I want to have an apple. You know, like it's just, you know, watering, you know, look at this banana.
I remember growing up and loving animals. Well, why am I treating them this way? Oh, maybe it isn't natural to do this. And then, well, the normal part will come the last, I think, because we look around and we are social beings. We tend to follow what other people do.
Phytoplankton provides up to 70% of the oxygen in the air we breathe, and it also sequesters enormous amounts of CO2. Why has there been a 40% diminishment? Because we've diminished marine mammals, seabirds, and fish. Those species provide the nutrient base for phytoplankton, primarily nitrogen and iron. Every day, one blue whale defecates 3 tons into the ocean, which floats on the surface and provides nutrient base for the phytoplankton. When you reduce whale, seal, seabird populations, you diminish phytoplankton populations. And I can tell you right now, if phytoplankton were to disappear from the sea tomorrow, we all die.
Years and years. I can't see any change. That it happened any change for the years. You work with since 70, that you said that's long way. And what's the difference you see between there and now?
Nothing.
See,
I don't see any difference. The problem is really an understanding of how energy should be distributed and who should own it and who should make money from it. So nuclear power is good for central generation.
That you collected, let's start to talk about this kind of vial, right? You collected this kind. So how is it work? If I have this in my home, what should I do with this?
So what Earth Hub thrives to do is to reuse rather than recycle for the most part. Earth Hub collects in 150 different drop-off locations in Canada, and we have 2 in the US.
I can understand. Actually, the reason that why they cannot recycle this in Canada, you have to discuss to send to US to do the treatment, right?
It started because my son started kindergarten and there was an egg hatching project. And I was like, what? You guys are still doing this? So we're actually almost done creating an app, which we hope will replace live animal egg hatching in classrooms from an educational standpoint. And then any resources for using, like, we kind of wanted to create that resource as like a compassion for all, so human and non-human animals. So it's very inclusive, and we really want to grow that as well online as a resource, and creating more apps, more things for teachers and parents to help them find alternatives that's for a more compassionate lifestyle.
Over the years, we've celebrated our 50 years last year at the height of the pandemic, but we were able to like look back at the amazing things that Greenpeace have done over the years. And my 80% of my work focuses on the Fossil Banks campaign.
You said that you have been working for since 53, right? That is that. And
we've been in operation a very long time. We're one of the oldest animal welfare groups in Canada. Yeah. One of our biggest challenges is that you can have the best laws in the world, but if nobody's checking and holding people accountable, it all falls through. And enforcement, we just don't have enforcement period. It's woefully lacking. It's underfunded. It's understaffed. And then, frankly, it's not a priority when it comes to animals, animal law, animal welfare. It's not often a priority.
What's the number? What happened now in Canada? We still have a lot of waste.
Oh, yes.
Food?
Yes, we do.
Why?
For a number of reasons. I mean, we can get into a whole lot of reasons of why it happens in different parts of the supply chain. But what I would advocate for is really simple. We actually don't measure it or monitor it. So if you don't measure and monitor it and provide targets that will meet the UN goal that we're trying to hit of halving food loss and waste by 2030.
Sad reality of horses in Canada is that they're being auctioned, and just the auction, just being in the auction house itself is a traumatic experience. I was there a few times, and it was very, very hard on me. And then you know, we could only save as many as we could, which was way too many for our farm. But we just tried to, you know, we had 80 at some point.
And it's all horses, it's healthy horses, or they are sick, or they have some issue, some problem?
You have everything.
Oh.
You have young horses, you have pregnant horses. A lot of the people get the horses pregnant because how they sell them is by weight. So the more the horse weigh, it's more meat. So that's why they get them pregnant. And then the way they kill them is another story as well. It's very bad. There's actually a movie that people done about that. It's called Kill Pen, which I recommend for people to watch to kind of know more about that. It's a very sad industry that, you know, there's a lot of groups fighting for dogs, and there's a lot of activist groups fighting for farm animals.
For cows and pigs, yeah.
But this small group of people that are fighting for horses, unfortunately, they can't get anywhere because it's a small group of an amazing people, but they don't have the power to do much, and nothing is being done.
And I think some people are missing us, right, Erica? Because it has been 2 weeks that we don't release any podcast. But yes, we are pretty busy working.
And some people's were sick.
Yeah, people's getting sick in their cats. I'm not blaming the COVID. It's enough, right? Let's stop blaming COVID for everything that happened.
Want that? We don't want this anymore. Like we're not buying it. We're not supporting it. And I think that's how these industries get shut down.
And that's what the vegan fashion is going to show.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's all the other alternatives, right? It's all the other alternatives that don't harm the animals and don't harm the environment.
That's why this kind of event is so important for everybody, and because bring knowledge, right? Bring awareness about it, that you don't need to wear this one. You have option.
We have so many options, and they're beautiful options. They're beautiful, and they're new.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Green Vibes Podcast. But today, something different. We are not in the studio, right, Erica?
Yes, you are at the VegFest, Mississauga Fest.
Yeah, that's the amazing fest here. That's the 3rd annual Mississauga Vegan Fest. Would be amazing event here today. After 2 years with the pandemic that could not happen, so now they are back here with amazing vendors, right? We have a lot of vendors here, more than they expect 1,000 people here today. Will be an amazing. So let's go with us inside and let's see what we have there. Let's go, guys.